What's up, YouTube fam? Welcome back to my channel. For those of you who are new, my name is Stephanie. I'm a nursing student documenting my journey and sharing some tips and tricks with you I pick up along the way. Now, fall semester is right around the corner, and as I get ready for my last semester of nursing school, I know that some of you are getting ready for your very first semester of nursing school. Now, I do want to start off this video by first congratulating you guys. You guys are awesome and have worked so hard to get here. You're about to embark in an exciting and wonderful journey, and I'm just so happy and proud of you guys. You guys are going to be great, and you're going to kick this program's ass. But I do want to share a few things with you that might help you guys start off on the right foot. I know that when I started this journey last year, I was excited, nervous, but I also had no idea what the hell I was doing. And it was very stressful sometimes, to say the least. So if I can help you guys make this as stress-free as possible, that's what I'm here for. So I did write a few things down, so I might look down to reference it just to make sure that I don't miss anything. But let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing that I want to talk to you guys about is Complio. Now, I'm not sure what all schools call it. My school uses America Data Bank. It's a system that we use to upload all of our documentation as far as vaccinations, drug screens, background checks, all of that good stuff. Now, my recommendation for Complio is to stay on top of it. I hope that you guys have already got it started with this process. I got accepted into my program in May, and it wasn't until the end of July, maybe beginning of August, that I finally got everything uploaded, approved, and cleared to start my program. So it takes a lot longer than one might think. Now, of course, I had like nothing done. I had no vaccinations. I hadn't had a physical done in like years. So it might have taken me a little bit longer than others, but nonetheless, stay on top of it, start early, and throughout your program, some of these things will have an expiration date. Some will last you the entire program, which is great, but others will expire after a few months or after a year, and depending on how long you are in your program, you may have to renew them a few times. Some vaccinations also will require 2 or 3 doses that you'll need a few months apart. So I suggest that you stay on top of these expiration dates. Try to get everything done well before you reach them. Schools and hospitals are very picky about these things, especially since COVID hit. You will not get cleared to go to clinical, and it would just be so silly for you to miss out on an experience just because you didn't get your documentation up to date. Or even worse, hold up your entire class because of it. I actually learned that during my OB rotation when I was supposed to go to clinical that I was so excited about. We did not go because some of the students in my class did not stay on top of their Complio and didn't do what they needed to do in order to get cleared for clinical. That is just unacceptable, and shame on you. If that's you. You are here to learn, to gain experience, and clinical is a huge part of that experience. It would be a shame for you to miss out on that or to cause others to miss out on that as well. So definitely stay on top of all of that. Just make the process a lot less stressful than it needs to be. And sometimes it's even out of your hands. When I was due for my TB shot a couple months ago, I started the process to renew it like right after I got that email, and it took me a full 2 months to get it done just because every Quest and LabCorp in my area were completely out of the TB shot. I don't know what was going on, but they didn't have it, and I was like holding on by the skin of my teeth and trying to get it in just so I wouldn't pass the expiration date and be non-compliant. Your school may even hold you back if you are unable to go to clinical because you don't have your Complio up to date or whatever system it is that you're using. So that's something I highly suggest just to stay on top of. Make sure that you have everything in order, all of your documents submitted and just cleared throughout your entire program. Now, the next thing I want to talk to you guys about are uniforms. Now, I know all schools are different, but if you are able to get your uniforms anywhere else but your school, I highly recommend it. For some reason, schools charge a hell of a lot for uniforms, and their quality is just not that great. I made the mistake of buying my uniforms directly from my school and not doing my research and my due diligence and checking out other uniform stores in my area. The uniforms that I bought were so expensive. I mean, I think it was like $50+ for just a clinical uniform top, and it lasted me not even a full semester. The pockets of my pants were starting to detach. The quality was just getting worse and worse every time I washed them, and I ended up having to invest on a whole new set of uniforms that I did end up getting at a local uniform store, and they're still like in tip-top shape. So I highly suggest that you visit your local uniform store, and any of them that are neighboring your school may even have the logo that they'll be able to place on any scrub that you buy, and it'll still be a lot cheaper and better quality than your school. Again, I know that schools are different, but definitely do your research with time. Check out your school, the quality that they have, the prices that they have, and then check out other uniform stores in your area to see what's going to be your best bet and the best bang for your buck, really. If you can start saving money from the very beginning, by all means, because trust me, a lot more expenses are coming your way. Which takes me to my next point. I highly recommend that you guys apply to every single scholarship and grant that you can. You guys, don't be lazy. I know that this is a tedious process, and sometimes you have to fill out hella long applications and maybe write a short essay or an entry passage for some of these scholarships, but it's totally worth it up until now. And I plan to keep it this way until I graduate. I have not paid $1 in tuition. I've even gotten some of my books covered and have even gotten money back from financial aid and from scholarships. So I guess I can say that I'm getting paid to go to school. And all because I took the time to do my research. I contacted my school. My school actually has one application that you can fill out, enter all of your information. I did have to write like 2 different entries that were like 2 or 3 paragraphs long and nothing crazy. And what it does is that it pairs you up to all of the scholarships that you qualify for based on your application and based on the program that you're in. And so I fill out that application, and throughout the program, I just get random emails like you qualify for $500, $1,000, and along with financial aid, it has covered my entire tuition, which is awesome. You guys, one of my goals was to graduate with no debt, and although I did save a substantial amount of money in order to pay out of pocket, because I just always told myself that I did not want to take out student loans, I was able to keep that money to pay for my expenses, so I didn't have to work really throughout my program, and I didn't have to worry about financial issues, and made my studies my main priority. So if you can qualify for scholarships or financial aid grants, please do the work. Don't be lazy. Get it done and save these monies, you guys. Very important. The next thing I recommend is to try to find your best organizational methods and study methods as early in the game as possible. Now, of course, this might take a lot of trial and error, to get in the groove of things and to find what works for you the best, but definitely try a few things as early as possible. I know that I tried many things. I tried Notion for a little bit to try to get organized as far as my calendar and things like that. And I just learned that I'm just a bit more old school, and I like to write things down and have a physical planner. And so I decided to stick with that, and it has worked well for me. At the beginning of my program, I also tried the whole binder thing. I bought like a big binder and then a few small binders, and I wanted one for every class and then a notebook for every class, and I drove myself insane. I hate loose papers everywhere. I hate having to carry a bunch of things and having to resort to different places for different things. So I learned that just wasn't the best for me to stay organized and to study from. So I learned that just like buying an iPad and having everything on one device was what worked best for me. As far as studying, flashcards might be best for you. Recording your lectures, re-listening to those lectures over and over again until the information sticks. Writing notes, typing, whatever you feel is going to be best for you. Try a few things out and figure out what's gonna work best for you throughout your program. Which really also takes me to my next point. If you are able to invest in an iPad or any kind of tablet, and that's a good organizational method or study method for you, highly suggest it, you guys. I keep everything on this thing. And I have a MacBook Pro as well that I just transfer everything to. I have everything on my iCloud, so if God forbid anything happens to this, I have everything on my laptop, even on my phone, and it has worked so well for me. There are so many apps that you can use. I use Notability, and I love it so much. I'm able to record on that. I'm able to import any PDF, any PowerPoint. I can write on the PowerPoint, which is gold for me. My professors lecture off of the PowerPoints, and I just note take right on it. And I even record the lectures on the actual PowerPoint on the app, and I just have everything right there. I pull up the PowerPoint, I have my notes on it, I turn on the recording, I play it back, and I have everything. I just have one thing that I'm looking at and working off of, and it's just awesome. It's worked so well for me. And I mean, forget those binders. It's not the swag anymore. Technology. That's probably the only old school thing that I don't like, is having like notebooks and papers and everything all over the place. And mind you, in school, they really don't hand out any papers that you keep in your binders. Everything is by email. Everything is uploaded onto Blackboard or Canvas or any system that you guys use. And if I can save paper and ink and not have to print out everything and just import everything into one place, I'm a happy camper. Another app that I highly recommend is Picmonic. I love Picmonic, especially for pharm, and I continue to use it throughout my program. It's just a very fun, interactive way of studying. They have different modes depending on what kind of learner you are, and it's just a great way to study and remember information. I do have a link that you guys can use. I will put that down below. You get a 7-day trial and then 20% off your subscription if you like it and decide to keep it. You can do like a quarterly subscription, a yearly subscription. So definitely recommend you check that out. And if you can, from the very start of your program, will be very helpful. My next point here is, if you can start familiarizing yourself with Nclex style questions from the very beginning, I highly suggest that you do that. Nursing school is a whole new ballgame. The type of questions that they ask you, it requires a lot of critical thinking. They're infamous of giving you all the right answers as options, but only one is the best one. And so getting used to it might take some time, but if you can maybe find Nclex style questions online, if you can buy different books with different questions so that you can start practicing from the very beginning, it'll not only help you pass all of your exams in nursing school, but just kind of get you in the right mindset and on the right track from the very beginning, so that once the Nclex does come, you know them like the back of your hands. One book that I highly suggest is the Saunders Nclex review. This is the 8th edition. I got this, I think it was my 2nd semester of nursing school when I started med surg. My professor highly suggested that we got it, and I love it. Even to study for med surg, it was awesome. Just reading the questions, and all of the chapters are also very just like concise and well packed together. It doesn't have like all that extra fluff, and it was a great study guide for me as well. I know that there is a 9th edition coming out because the next gen is due to launch, I think May, sometime next summer, 2023. And you guys might be taking that Nclex, especially if you're starting now. And it is available for pre-order on Amazon. I'm gonna link that down below for you guys, just so that you guys can get first dibs and start right away. But highly suggest this book. It is gold to start looking at it and reviewing while you are in your program. Also, when you start your program, you guys, make friends. I know that it's something new for you guys if you are starting this process alone, or if you are starting your program with friends that you've already had for a while. Great, stick to them. There will most likely be certain people that you will have in all of your classes from the very start of your program, which is so great if you guys can become friends and lean on each other throughout your time together, and even create lifelong friendships. I have my 3 friends that I made at the beginning of my program, and I hold them so near and dear to my heart. They are awesome, and we've just been such a close-knit family. We study together, we go out together, we have fun together, we lean on each other for anything that we might need. We just have each other's backs, and I know that, I mean, these friendships are gonna last a lifetime, even after the program. It makes life easier and more fun, and you just don't have to go through this alone, and have a great support system, you know, throughout your program. Last but not least, you guys, I do want to emphasize that if anybody has ever told you that you won't have a life during nursing school, don't believe them. Yes, it is going to take up a lot of your time, a lot of your mental space. There are going to be times where you're going to have to prioritize your studies and set everything aside. Still definitely let your family and friends know that you are starting nursing school, that you may not be available for a lot of the things that they want you to be available for all of the time, but you will definitely still have a life. It's all about balance. Don't make yourselves go crazy. I make sure that I take care of my mental health first, because if I am not taken care of mentally, emotionally, then my studies won't go well. I won't be in the right mindset to be the best that I can be. And so I take time out to do all the fun things that I like to do, you know, to get my workouts in. That excuse that, oh, I can't work out, or I'm gaining weight because I'm in a program, as far as I'm concerned, I think that is BS, and it's a silly excuse. If it's important to you, you will make the time for it. You can make time to hang out with your friends, with your family. Just make sure that you prioritize. Wake up earlier if you have to. Stay up a little later if you have to. Now, that doesn't mean to neglect sleep, because sleep is also a huge thing. Adequate amounts of sleep. It's super important and a must. So don't believe all that nonsense. You will definitely still have a life. It'll be maybe a little bit different than what you're used to, but make sure that you take time to not neglect all of the other areas in your life just because you're starting nursing school. This is supposed to be a fun, exciting journey. Don't make it anything less than. So you guys, I think that this is gonna wrap up this video. stay strong, stay on top of your game, believe in yourselves. You guys, trust me, trust me, trust me. I sometimes can't believe that I am where I am today. If you knew where I was before I even started this journey, old Stephanie would be mind-boggled to think that I would be graduating nursing school this December. So believe that you can, and you definitely can. Put in the work, because thoughts really, really, really do become things when you put in the work. So never stop believing, never stop working. The real flex is when you stay solid when things get tough. Till next time, and good luck. You guys are gonna rock.